Hi, I'm Love, and I'm tired of the context rot that happens the second that you stop coding for the day. You know what I mean? That when you spend 20 minutes repasting the files into Claude or Cursor just to set the stage, we're moving so fast with AI these days that we're creating a lot of code slop. And I hate that term, but it's true. It's features that we work on today, but they become a maintenance nightmare tomorrow because the intent wasn't captured anywhere clearly. And that's why I created CodePoet, because poetry is the opposite of slop. It's about extreme intentionality. It's about making sure that every single architectural decision is deliberate and every piece of context is preserved so that the system remembers what happened and why it happened 3 months from now. Let's start here. This is a fresh repository that we'll go into, and it has nothing inside it, but our CodePoet awaits. Now, normally you'd have to spend a massive README, you'd have to spend an hour on a call with new developers explaining the stack and why we did things, how we do things, and it's a mess to have to do that every single time. Trust READMEs. We scan the actual AST, and in 30 seconds, we know the business context of this actual product. We know the tech stack, we know the error handling, coding patterns, testing patterns, or lack thereof, and we know a lot about the code style, so we don't need to repeat and keep learning about this every single time that we want to work on this repository or a new person comes in. This key utilities and recent learnings looks empty. And here's where it matters for TPMs, because this is a project that's been running for a few months. And when you get to this, then you'll see that, well, intelligence is constantly growing. It's never something that stays steady. Every time that we build a feature, we aren't just shipping code, we're capturing the evolution. And you can see that it captures the artifacts like middleware.ts and the learnings that have been done for this. Because this file that we learned this from, the second brain of our project, is version controlled and lives in our repository. It survives every session and the intelligence tab stays updated. Next time you or an AI agent tries to add a feature, it won't suggest a pattern that we've already rejected. It prevents the drift from happening. So I actually want to show you one of my favorite parts of the tool that I've built. We had an early user who wanted to understand the drawbacks of an approach. As a non-engineer or as a TPM, he said that AI makes us feel like we can do anything until it breaks a product. So I want to add scheduled SMS in 3 days. And it doesn't just say, here is the code. It gives me the options. First, it understands what the problem that I actually have is and what I'm talking about. It obviously always should show me what is my business context and what is the purpose of my repository. And then it gives me approaches. It gives me options. And if we look at this approach, then we can see that this adds a whole new dependency. And instead, we have options that fit into our stack and potentially are low maintenance as well. It gives me the pros and cons so I can compare different options and I can say that, you know what, this makes sense. But that one insight, that saves me a week of failed refactoring. It's an engineer level sanity check before a single line of code is written. And now I'm able to actually go on to refining my intent. Now, I have a lot more to show, but I will say, the way I see it, CodePoet is the architect and Cursor is the intern. I don't want you to stop using your favorite tools. I want you to use CodePoet to generate the perfect prompt and then the perfect plan. Then let Cursor do the typing. Even if you never use the code generation, this is a self-writing changelog that explains why your app exists the way it does. If you're worried about code slop and want to keep your project's context persistent, give this a try. Let me know what you think.